Hello, welcome to this bonus video of June Shimmy Month, Week 4 Shimmy Jam, Day 3 Dance. In this video I would like to cover a few questions I had from the online students of this month and also catch up on anything that I feel I didn't have enough time. Hi Jeanette, welcome! So anything I didn't have enough time for in today's actual online live class. And one of the things that are questions about and we didn't get to do in depth is the belly flutter. So this is a movement that many students want more information about. Hi Ingun, welcome back. And also something that can be a challenge because it takes very intricate biomechanics and also mind-body connection. It is a good exercise to do even if you don't care about this movement itself. It's good for posture and it's good for shimmies. So I thought it would be a great video to do in between both series. Next to that, I want to make use of this little video to do the announcements that I forgot to do in the class. And one of these is our next classes, the July series, will start on 6th of July. So next week, because the month starts in half of the week, I have made a little break so you can catch up if you have missed any of the previous videos. So in July, we will do posture, arms and hands. So anything upper body which makes dancing more beautiful. And it's one of my favorite topics. In August, we will go for traveling steps, adding layers to traveling steps, but also the very basics and how you can make those more fluent and more beautiful. In September, we will have, let me think, silk veil, also one of my favorite topics. In October, my birthday month, we will do fan veils. And in November, the final month of this school year for me, will be for, let me think, what else? For belly work. So belly work, anything between here and here, which makes dance movements more rich. And of course, it is belly dance, so something that makes any of the movements more beautiful. I have decided to keep teaching online for the rest of this year at least, because I love teaching in this way a lot. It's been very enriching for me and I've been able to meet students that I would not be able to catch up with live if I had to travel, or if they had to travel, it would be more difficult. So I love being able to teach internationally, catch up with those of you that I miss, and also to keep on going deeper into some of the things that I cannot go as deep in workshops. I've made it easier to sign up for the rest of the classes by a link which I will send you. And this link is more for convenience for payments. The payments will go automatically, but it's not a discount. The price is the same. This I just wanted to clarify because it might be confusing otherwise. You can still sign up for the month separately, or you can sign up for the whole series and decide later if you want to go live or not. So you can do the base package and tell me which months you want to add on the live classes. So there's all kinds of options. I just want to make it as easy as possible for you to join. And just be sure that, that you let me know what you want to do and I will add you. For those who study with me, I will be doing some extra things as well. So now that I have the live classes a bit settled and the dates are set, I will be doing some live workshops on top in weekends. So every month I want to do one workshop topic that kind of fits with the classes, but is still a bit separate. For July, it would be posing for pictures and dance, which is something I think that can make a dance more beautiful. If you walk on the lines, and any dancer likes to have her pictures look beautiful. Even if you're being photographed inside a dance, there are tricks and angles and things you can use that make your pictures more beautiful. And anyone who takes the classes of July will get 50% off of this workshop. Anyone can join, but you will get a link to get 50% off. And it will be the same for September, October, November, and August. Anyone who takes the classes of that month will get 50% off the workshop of that month. And this way, those who are investing a lot in taking classes with me can get more without having to spend so much money. For anyone who is taking all of the months, who has been with me from July until November, in whatever way, be it recordings or live, I will do special workshop in December, so at the end of the year, on improvisation and taksim, which is a beautiful topic, and it can be taught to make it easier if this is something you struggle with. And if you're a teacher who is comfortable with improvisation, but you want to make it easier for your students, it might also be a good topic. This also is open for anyone, but for you guys who have been with me the whole time, this workshop will be completely 100% free. So I want to do something extra. Maybe we'll also do a little party, but the workshop, in any case, I will put the dates into the email. So that's it. That's the talking. That's all I wanted to say for the coming months. I will send out the newsletter and the links for the whole series or for the separate months. And you just let me know if you have any questions. Now for the Flutter. One thing that you can always practice and will make all of your movements more deep and more beautiful is your breathing. And also it's essential for flutters. Some biomechanics. If you do a flutter, we have many layers of abdominal muscles. The deepest layer is the one that you use for actual breathing. It's the diaphragm. And it's not here. It's the separation between your upper body and lower body, and it's shaped like a dome. Whenever you inhale, the dome comes down, and it's like tensing a muscle. You are strengthening it. So if you inhale and hold it, let's do it together. You are now strengthening your diaphragm, making this muscle stronger. That also helps you hold your posture. When you exhale deeply and you hold the exhalation point, the whole diaphragm will be stretched, the fibers will lengthen. And if you hold this position, you are stretching your diaphragm. And you want to be both strong and flexible to make the movement that your diaphragm does in the flutter, or any movement in your torso, more fluid. You need the strength and the flexibility. So I recommend practicing both. Practicing inhaling and holding and smiling and relaxing your face. Maybe even shimmying, doing anything you can. Not talking, if you talk you exhale, but anything you can to only hold the breath and relax everything else. Then you exhale, and it can be more challenging to hold the end of the exhalation. So this is something that you might have to build up from very short, and then you breathe, and then gently, gently, as you get used to it, you can hold an exhalation for longer. So depending on what you are used to, the inhalation holding may be challenging or the exhalation holding may be challenging, but both are really valuable even for changing your state of mind. So if you practice only one thing in this week between the two series, I would say practice your inhalation and your exhalation control and calming yourself while you do this. This will be an excellent life skill even. Assuming you have done this a couple of times, try your flutter before and after. So let's say today we flutter. Let's do a bass flutter. However you know how to do it. See how it feels. And then let's do the inhalation. And hold. Hold, 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 but relax your face. You might even feel other body parts tense. You can let them go. Exhale completely. Then exhale further, 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 even more. So every last bit of oxygen is out, and every last breathing muscle fiber, it will be all around, gets the chance to move in this position. And then you inhale. And this already, now let's move. This already might have wakened up any fibers that you don't usually use. Okay, so the breathing goes all around, not just front, not just side. Any fiber you can use. Then let's try it again. We inhale and open the rib cage. So that's my second tip. First is breathing. Second is find positions, as many as you can, with the ribs in different angles. So if you do a slide, your obliques will help, but you will also kind of open on one side. If you tilt, you might be a bit uneven. It might depend on your body state. If you have any restrictions, just do what you can. If this side doesn't work, you do the other one. And you will still have some value by going to the edge of your movement in whichever way you can. So on the side, And then from there you can tilt and find even more movement. So the point is we have so many muscle layers here, to also open them up and close them to make your whole body more responsive. So I'm opening the ribs and then I'm moving from there. Closing the ribs, moving here. Opening the ribs. So if you inhale and exhale and breathe, but hold this, you're training your base flutter. And if you exhale, but still move, you're training the opposite, but it makes the range bigger. Okay, so now that we have done breathing, range of motion in the rib cage, third would be the position to get your flutter the most visible. And for this you might have to play with angles as well as with the position of your body itself. For me, what works best is to shift my rib cage, the complete rib cage, a bit to the front, because my resting posture, if I don't take care, is a bit in. If, however, you are up here as your standard posture, I'm exaggerating of course, it might be more that you bring it down a bit, that you make distance between your chin and your sternum. So you want to find a middle ground that is slightly in front, just because being in front will give you more leeway here. Ideally, you want this muscle, the outer one that runs top to down, to have room to be relaxed as much as possible. So if you stretch by tilting up and opening here, if you stretch it here and then relax, and then you close it here by rounding your back and bringing the pelvis in, then you come to middle. The middle will be more relaxed than if you are always here or always here. So I recommend opening and closing your book. This is good for any shimmy, but especially for flutter and for torso work. And then breathing. So this is for the outer layer, the breathing was for the inner layer. Then see, if you move to the front and up and down, what happens in this area. You want to look for a bit of shade. I hope you can see it. I've especially placed lamp. In some lights you don't see it, so you don't see it here, but if I turn, you see this line. It's not here when I'm completely stacked. It's more there when I go a little bit in front and open the ribs. And this is a better setup for the flutter, biomechanically, than being here. You might be doing a flutter, not visible. You shift a bit and till the shadow happens, and you might see it. For most people, the flutter technique is not the problem, but the positioning of the upper body. And if you're restricted here, I would recommend playing with the ribcage where it does open and simply turning your body so this side is visible. Yes, so if you have a stronger side and you want to show off your flutter, but it's not even yet, don't worry. So you have to search for the shadow, which means you have a better position to be able to relax here. If your lower belly is kind of tense, you can also tilt yourself to the front. So that's my fourth tip. Tilt your whole body and let gravity help a bit with the relaxation. So if I'm holding myself here, and then completely relaxed, you see my belly button kind of travels down. And I can even use my hands to help it relax. I have a bit of the shade that I'm looking for. If I push my ribs out a bit, drop a bit, and then relax, it's deeper. So this is how I found my first flutter. I had to tweak the breathing, I had to open up the body, I had to find the rib cage, and I had to bend. So if you need all these steps, do them. And if you have your flutter, this will make it stronger. Then you relax. Now the actual flutter technique starts with one fleur. You want to practice the motion of the diaphragm without the belly helping. So it is not a chest lift, and it is not a belly push. It's not even a belly pull in. It's none of that. The magic happens in the diaphragm itself. So that's the secret. I mean, the most important thing to know is that it's just the breathing muscle withholding air. All the rest is passive, and if you see any movement happening anywhere else, you are absorbing the movement in a different place. So you want this to stay stable. If your flutter looks like this, going up and down here, hold it with your hands and think of going a bit in front and staying here instead. You see it travels here. Up and down, you see less. If I hold it, you see it more. You want this area to react. If your position is like this, you might have a flutter, but it's little. You come down in front, your belly button has more place to react. So from here, you might have a flutter. Test it from here. So down and front instead, and it might make the movement come from here a bit more down. If you are someone who is used to holding the lower belly, then the third tip or the fourth tip, the bending front, might help you release that. So that's tips for any flutter restriction. If I hold it, you might see it here, but this is tight. If I bend and let go, you will see the belly button finally travel. So these are the things to look for. If you still struggle, let me know. Send me a message or send me your flutter even, and I might be able to tell you which of these tips would be most useful for you. And this way you can start tweaking it, and it will be more motivating if you see progress in your flutter. Another thing that we can do is to think of, if you are still struggling with flutters, think of strengthening it just one flutter at a time. So if you have a little flutter and you want to make it more deep, think of the positioning, front and a bit down, maybe opening on one side if both is tricky, angling yourself in the ideal way, coming a bit in front just to help with gravity, and then you exhale 2/3 of the air, you close off and you do a fake hiccup. So I'm not pulling in, the hiccup is inside. And you see a little reaction here. I try to keep my face relaxed, but you see the work happening here. Yes, so let's breathe. Normally it's hard to talk and do it. So if you're doing this here, focusing on one flutter, but make it go deep and relax, then your belly will get used to simply reacting and not doing the actual work. Yes? In order to make this easier, practice the exhalation hold and the inhalation hold. The longer you can hold your breath comfortably, the longer you can practice comfortably. Let's go at it again, just one more time. Hello, hello, welcome back. Just one flutter. And relax. And relax. Relax immediately. It's like a hip bump. You lift, you drop, and immediately you relax again. Or a chest drop. You drop and you let it bounce. It's the same with the hiccup. You pull and you release immediately. Hi Krishna, welcome back. So this is a Flutter bonus video. You can catch up later. So one flutter is all you need to make your flutter stronger. And this you can do whenever you want. How I started practicing my flutter, once I almost had it and I wanted to make it deeper and not forget, is to just watch the clock. And if any double number popped up, like 12-12 or 11-11, 10-10, I would be reminded to just practice my flutter for this minute. And this was a good way for during the week, during the day, practice little bits at a time, and then the progress goes much faster. So you will practice a lot without even noticing it if you make it a kind of habit and connect it to something you already do, like watching your clock. So my challenge for you, or my assignment for you, if you want to practice something in the next week, then give yourself a reminder. And this could be the double numbers. Let's go for that. So if you see 11-11, 10-10, 12-12, anything, you practice the one thing you want to practice for 1 minute. That's it. And then after a week, you'll be amazed at the results, how much difference it makes. For me, it will be the flutter. For some of you, it will be the flutter, but it could be something else also. So if you want, let me know what you will practice in the coming week. and I'll keep tabs on you next Friday. Hi Sophie, welcome back. So this whole video is Flutters. Those of you who have the tip drops, by the way, today will be even more Flutter tips. It's like a compressed version of this video. And it might be because I recorded it earlier that I say it in a slightly different way. It might be the last thing to make it click. However, if you still have questions after this, because this week is my Flutter week, you can send me your videos still, and I will check and tweak and tell you which of the tips would be most useful for you to try. Hi, so nice to see you guys again. I have to admit, I already miss you all because I know next week is no class. This is why I'm doing this. You can send me videos, so I still have a bit of contact. And also I will email you about the upcoming bonus workshops. So anyone who signs up for July, I'll repeat, will get 50% off the workshop of July. And anyone who is taking the online classes in August will get 50% off the workshop of August. And it will work like this until November. Anyone who has done all my classes will get the workshop of December for free. So that's it. That's my bonus Flutter workshop of today. I will put on music for one song and just try to do any layering of fluttering that I can imagine. And this might be something for you also to try. So stick with me, I'll put on the music and we'll flutter away. So first we'll try an easy layering, something we already did in the Shimmy Jam. And that's a very relaxed Egyptian shimmy. I call it easy because the posture tweaks for Egyptian shimmy and Flutter are the same. So having the ribcage slightly in front, not too far tilted up, but opened instead. And the hips kind of relaxed. And you breathe. And I tilt my body actually a bit more further to the front whenever I flutter, because it makes it more visible for the same effort. Add a flutter if you want. In between you breathe. Let's roll. Okay. Now let's try a camel, meaning a circle with the upper body. I shift to the front, I lift, I come back and down, and we'll add a flutter. And this will show you which positions the flutter works best. It'll be more tight here when you compress, and it will be more easy here. But we keep on fluttering anyway. Let me catch my breath. Make this movement slow. So you see, in the lower part, that's where the flutter happens. Now let's try a fun one, a tilted hip circle, which is a mix of hips up and down and belly in and out, or pelvic tilt. Also here you might see that the pelvic tilt and release may help, or the obliques may help. Making the umis slow, stacking the upper body, and fluttering. I cannot talk and flutter at the same time. I'm sorry. You'll have to believe what I say before. So, Ami, and you flutter whenever you have breath. Relax again. Let's try the other side. Also here you see, if I'm just Amying, before I flutter, I set my upper body up to make it easier. Let's go for it. And again, I'll come a bit to the back so you can see me still if you have the comments open. I'm adding a little twist because the angles help with seeing the flutter. On top of the Ami. So as you see, it makes the movements more juicy. Okay, I'll do one more, one more final song of fluttering and moving. Let me see, for layering. Another nice layer is a gentle figure eight to the back. And a final one is tricky but also nice, a Maya, figure eight down. We'll start with the figure eight to the back first. This one will become less visible when my hips are out and more visible when I cross the middle. Let's try. And relax. Twist it deeper. And again. Again. I'm still working on relaxing the face, as you can see. Let's go for the Maya. So I'm shifting my hips to the side, and on the outside I drop. Shifting, dropping. Shifting, dropping. Krishna, for you this is a good tutorial for, or start for the figure eight. There's more in-depth tutorials, I'll send you a link, in the Belly Dance Essentials for practicing this, and you can put the flutter on top later. I cannot talk anymore and do it with flutter. And that's it. Ooh, let's do a little cool down, because I know it's a lot of work to do. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining if you're tuning in later. You can use this video whenever you want to work on flutters and or hear me talk for half an hour. If you miss me next week, I say use this video. It has a bit of everything and the dance jam of today. With those two combined, you will have all the dancing together. I'm crossing the shoulder, grabbing my arm, lifting and dropping. And then I open, elbow up, chin up, crossing the leg, lifting the rib cage, gently bending to the side. This is optional. You can also bend a bit to the front, just to counter all the rib opening that we did. We close it. And gently open. Other side the same. So I'm crossing my arm, grabbing it here so I can lift and drop using my lower arm. And sending it down, sending it up. Elbow straight, arm. Okay, let me check for the workshop date. I'll be right with you. So yes, on 11th of July, I will do the posing for pictures and dance workshop. And all of you who sign up for July will have 50% discount. It will be an online workshop. I will announce it in our email later on, because I think it will be nice for everyone. You can use the pose tricks to improve your posture, and you can use the posture classes to improve your poses. And pictures are something you will have forever. So I'll make it nice. Bend, lift, and open. Also, the posture and arms series of July will be a good preparation for the props classes. So even if you only take those, you can add the recordings to deepen. Alright, that's it. Thank you very, very much for being here. Oh. I wish you a great weekend. Keep your eyes open for today's tip drop if you're signed up for those, and watch it to the end because you might spot Mr. E. Not fluttering yet, but as I said, we are working on like a plan for the year. I will see you hopefully in 6th of July. Next Wednesday, 1st of July, I will go live in the big group in K-Dance Online, and we'll do lunchtime mini class of something. I don't think Flutter because this class has been so long, but if you have any other topic wishes for next Wednesday, let me know, and I hope to see you there. Bye bye, see you soon.